I think when somebody says, look, I'm having trouble doing valuation, the question I always ask them is, what is it that's giving you trouble? So when you think about valuing these really young companies, I say, what is it that's giving you trouble? And if you isolate it, it's not that they're young, it's not that they're high tech. What's giving you trouble is you don't have that crutch of past history. Let's face it, when you value companies, it's nice to have a lot of history because you can learn from history, right? So you value Coca-Cola, you have 100 years of history. You know their business model. You know what a good year looks like. You know what a bad year looks like. And for better or worse, it gives you a crutch because when you make your estimates, you can say, I based it on the average for the last 10 years. So here's the first thing I'm doing. I'm taking that crutch away. So you don't have the crutch of past data. The second crutch you look at is business model. You take the existing numbers. What's the gross margin? What's the operating margin? You're trying to get a sense of the existing business model. With a very young company that's still working on a business model, you can look at the current financials till the cows come home, but you're learning very little about the business because there's not much there. So you don't have history. You don't have a business model in place. And if every other company looks just like your company, they're all at the same stage, you've got the trifecta. You got no history, no financials that you can use, and you can't base it on other companies further down the life cycle. Because they're all, all the ride-sharing companies pretty much hit the market at the same time, right? Uber, Lyft, Grab, Didi, they're all young companies. They're all money losing. They all have a business. So you don't have any crutches. And you know what? That makes us uncomfortable. So what's giving you trouble in valuation is you've gotten so used to having those crutches that once I take them away, you say, what do I do? Hey, do you face the same task that I did with Tesla? Absolutely. Ultimately, with Tesla, the past crutches weren't what drove my valuation. It was my perception of what will happen to the market, how big a player Tesla would be. You'd have to do the same thing. You have to rely more on your imagination. You have to rely more on looking at the overall market. You have to rely more on your story.